Alrighty, guys, here we go. This is going to be a long video. You want to watch Chad with Kentucky Room Fire Hobbies. It inspired me to do it. You know, he's been doing his knife collection videos and stuff, and some with pretty good stories. You know, knives he got from his grandpa and stuff like that. And yeah, I said, I think I'll try to do one also. Now I've done knife collection video before, but I've never really had much of a knife collection until now, I guess. Yeah, with winning so many. Growing up, both my grandpas had passed before I was born, and one of my grandmas. So I only really knew one grandma, and I can remember having a Barlow growing up, and I can remember having a Boy Scout knife, which I had them both for a long time. Where they went to now. Then at one point when I was growing up working stuff, I used to have a Stockman like this right here. And I remember the helper one day he lost my knife. I was pissed. Yeah. But I thought I'd start off showing some nice, and then I'm going to evolve into some other stuff now, too. I've gotten stuff. And a lot of these are from other gun tubers, I won and stuff like that and sent me stuff. And I'm going to try not to forget everybody. So, yeah. But I'm getting old and the Alzheimer's kicking in. Okay, one of the latest ones I got right here is, zoom it out a little bit, right there. The Red Ryder 75th anniversary Red Ryder knife. I won this from Hasbro. And Hasbro, of course, I'm sure you guys know, he's got a great gun channel. You go over and check him out for sure. And there's your little safety handbook. Comes with it right there. Comes with a sheath with a compass on it. So let me take the knife out. There. I don't know if you guys can read that there. It says Red Ryder 75th anniversary there on the blade. And I'll cut myself before I'm done with here. My fingers might be a little big for this Bear Cruise, but nevertheless, it's a pretty cool knife. Don't you think? It was a cool one for sure. I'm going to try to get this all back in here, get it out of the way. Back in the box. And I get to some of these other ones here. Yeah, it's a cold winter day here in Ohio. I finally got my driveway finished plowing yesterday, started, and had a hydraulic line go out on me. Okay, let's go back up here a little, zoom in a little more here. Okay, Bubba Triclops Ballistics. Yeah, if you guys know Bubba, he hasn't made videos in a good while, for a year or more right there, but you occasionally see him on American Hillbilly Up, his Guns, Beer, and Therapy on Saturday night. Yeah, you can go over and catch him there occasionally. But this is one I want of him. This is an albatross. What the heck's this called? Now, I just thought of it. Starts with a C. I don't know. Crambit, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, knife right there. And this one is, ow, almost cut myself right there, too. No kidding. So, get the pocket clip on there. Then there's another one from Bubba. I won this kind of this is also an albatross too, I believe in. And this is more of a, meat cleaver style, I guess you'd say. That was not quite as sharp as the other one right there. It's more safe for me, I guess. So, oh. Let me see. This one, I believe, right here. What the heck is this? It says D2 steel on it. Hang on a second. I'm trying to read this, guys. Let's see if I can read up here close. I don't know. I won this from the Main Man channel, another gun tuber. It's quite a few years ago I went off of him. Yeah, his name is Rusty. You know, let me see that one here. This one right here is Ozark Trail. You guys can read that there. Both that knife and this knife I carry in my trucks all the time, so I am missing at least 3 knives. But this one I won off of Brandon's Ballistics. Brandon's Ballistics. He's in Charleston, West Virginia, I think. He has a gun channel. Okay, let's get to the skinny knives. One of the black skinny knives I won off Gizzard Gary. And also I won off Gizzard Gary a few times, like, you know, every Monday night he has his, he's a gun tuber, he has a Monday night live show, you get on there and you win stickers and usually like a Aegis gun oil and gun cleaning kit off of him. Won one of them off him. Now we got the other black one here. And these next ones are all from Hillbilly here. And these things are always sharp. Really sharp. Skinny black knife. Along with, you see I got 2 multicolors. I won off Hillbilly. I've got the blue one I won off Hillbilly. And the pink one or purple, whatever you want to call it right there, I won off Hillbilly. Now, maybe I'm missing 4 knives. Now, this one, I know I won off Hillbilly. You know, he has this Guns, Beer, and Therapy. He does gun videos all the time, but he has Gun, Beers, and Therapy live stream on Saturday nights. But once a month, he'll do a monthly knife giveaway. If you comment, on any of his videos or shorts or anything like that, you get a chance to enter it. Sometimes I'll comment the heck out, I'll try to get there. But I've won quite a few times. A few times I've won and I missed it, fell asleep or something like that. But I know I got a second one like this. And this, I think, the first knife I won off him, it's an Albatross and it's got a light on it. Seatbelt cutter, window breaker, can opener, and knife. And these are fairly sharp too. I know I have another one laying around like this. This was a monthly knife giveaway. Same thing for these. These are both from Hillbilly. These are monthly knife giveaways also. And these are really nice knives. And I'm not sure, it doesn't say on this, but what this one is exactly. It doesn't tell me anything on it, but nice looking knife though. Both recently, these 2 blue ones are from Hillbilly also. I recently won a monthly knife giveaway. And this is Albatross also. And these are pretty sharp too. I'm debating on putting one of these. I didn't cut myself. I'm almost ready to cut myself. Put one of these in my trucks also. It's a really good shot. And I kind of like the release. You can get it back here. The release here on it. Okay. This one right here is a mossy oak. My Alzheimer's has kicked in and I have no idea who I won this off of. So if you're on there, forgive me. I'm an old, feeble old man. I can't remember. But a really nice knife. No. I didn't win this one right there. My buddy, which it has Buckeye Ballistics, Justin, he gave this to me. That one, I was thinking I was looking at emails looking for I won this there. He gave this to me for Christmas. I remember that. Now, Buckeye Ballistics, he's always doing reviews and stuff like that. And, he's given me several scopes and red dots and stuff like that, I always appreciate it. But they're a really nice knife, though. Look at that thing. Got your clip on it. Just thought of that the last minute because I was thinking, who would I win that off of? I did win it. It was given to me. Okay, here we are, a Ruger and CRKT, and what's it say? I can read it through the camera easier. Winage Orion design. This one I won from Rob Hamilton at Hamilton Outdoors. Now I start getting the more personal. What I have. Yeah, nice. Look at this one. Of course, this is the old penknife, old timer. And this one I carry around a lot. At least I used to. And I guess I just kept this. You a lot of guys know I had Toro retired this past year. I had a excavating company, and I carried this around my clipboard for when I need to peel an apple or whatever. And I always liked the old timers. And this is the Stockman, like I said, I used to have one like this. But this one right here, and this is a 3-blade Stockman. This one I got belonged to my brother Fred. And when he passed away, I got this his kids give me this to remind me of him. So, I come from a large family. There's 8 kids in my family. I was the baby. All right there. Now, my mother, she passed away at 90 years old, 92, 90, something like that. But she saved little knickknacks and trinkets and stuff that belonged to us kids and stuff like that. And she'd write down some of the stuff like, I get a couple of envelopes right here. If you don't know, my name's John. Right there. And in the envelope where she written down. And my grandma, which was my mother's mother, I remember her as a young kid. She would take like jars, like say bigger pickle jars and stuff like that. And her thing was, now she's old at the time, and she'd go like to the bubblegum machines, back when you get the prizes. Now you still have prizes in bubblegum machines, but they're not near the quality they used to be. And she would get all kinds of little doodads out there, and she would glue them on the outside of these jars. I don't know why. It's their hobby. And but all kinds of cool ones. And so we went to her house one day, and she let me look through all the goodies and stuff. So you want me to pick you out something? And so I picked out this little knife. Now, this is not like it's cheap, but it's not like the really super cheap ones. It's actually got an edge on it. Little pearl handle knife. I can't read anything on there, so I'm not going to try to. And I can remember it. I can't tell you exactly what age I was right there. And then another time, I went there, and she had this one right here. And this is probably, a few years later, and got this one. This one actually you can actually cut a piece of paper with it, put it that way. So it's pretty cool. Now, I've had, not near this many as I got right now, knife video before there. I've included this right here, and I like this one because it's got a good story right there. And it's not a knife, but it's close enough. It's a little hatchet. You see it's all rusted and it's dull and stuff. And got a little bow right there. A little nail puller here on the end. When I was a boy, we lived over in Pennsylvania on a farm. And we built tree cabin stuff. Now, this is in grade school. And you can see the heads all kind of mushroomed out and stuff. We had 2 hatchets. There was this one, we had a little bit bigger hatchet. And so this is what we used to build tree cabins with. We pull out, go old naily boards and use the V-notch in there, pull out nails and hammer nails in with the head, build a tree cabin stuff like that. Whatever became of the bigger hatchet, I have no idea. But this one, I had, and because I'm the baby of the family, I have a bunch of nephews and nieces around my age. And we were going to move out to Colorado, and I did not want to move. And we're walking out by a creek. I remember doing it, and there's a big, I don't know what it was, maple tree or oak tree, but a big one. Kind of lean out, get a little slight lean over top of a creek. And this area where this creek is, we fish this creek too. It's in a pasture, and it went down through the trees. It's always nice and shady, and the cows kept the grass ate low, and it opened up more to pasture on down through there. But just beautiful, scenic area it was, And I was talking, I don't want to go, and I happened to be carrying this hatchet. And I happened to look on the side of the tree. Let me zoom out here a little. The side of the tree is leaning over the creek there a little bit, and there's a knothole in the tree. And I put this hatchet back in that knothole, and I found another piece of bark, and I kind of covered up the knothole. I said, I told my nephew, Denny was his name. In fact, we were 14 days apart in age. I said, one of these days I'm going to come back and get this hatchet. Well, we moved out to Colorado. Boy, you talk about culture shock. Now, when I went to school, Pennsylvania, you had a dress code. You wore dress shoes and you wore dress pants, and a dress shirt to school. I moved out to Colorado. Suddenly, I can wear tennis shoes and I can wear blue jeans. I remember begging my mother for blue jeans. But, I remember going to see all the tract houses, just one-story ranch houses, which back east was, that's all. I think I was used to seeing is old two-story houses. And I can remember my brother getting us first burrito I ever saw, because I never even heard of a burrito. Yeah, probably from Taco Bell. Taco Bell's been around for a long time. And it was a bean burrito. I'm looking at the bean burrito. Ooh, that flour don't even look like it's cooked. Ooh, I smelled it. I ate it and I liked it. But I actually had dreams when I was a kid about this hatchet. And my mother said she got, I obviously told her about a few of the dreams. She said she started to get worried about where we made a mistake moving out there. And eventually we moved back east here. But years later on, me and another nephew, Brian, we was going by there and seeing the old home place there, and we decided to park the car and we went running through the fields and see if I could find it. And I found where I thought was a tree. I expected maybe to fallen down by now. No logs or anything like that. And I looked around the tree, grabbed hold of the tree. You remember it's leaning over the creek here, so I grabbed the backside so I don't fall in the creek. And I don't see no knothole. And I go down and look at other trees. And I'm getting disappointed. And we're looking up and down there, and that tree must be gone. And more knothole. I looked one more time. I grabbed it and looked at that tree up and down, and I happened to glance in the water. The water's real nice and clear, and there on the edge, laying in the sand and gravel, just barely a little bit of the axe head was sticking up out of the sand and stuff. I reached out and got it. Boy, was I a happy camper then. Yeah, I found it. So obviously that knothole closed up and kind of forced the hatchet out. But that was many years later, so I always thought that's a good story. Yeah, I always like that one right there. When still a kid, we're talking grade school. We moved out to Colorado, and we used to go camping up above Central City and Blackhawk, up on past the Glory Hole Mine, between Central City and Cripple Creek, up in the mountains. And it's kind of wild up there all the time. You don't want to go walk around nighttime, because there'd be open mine shafts going straight down the ground. You drop down and look like 100 feet. But we camp up there and stuff. And my brother Fred, had this knife right here, and my Uncle Lloyd, they's always whittling and stuff like that. And the knife I can't find, I have my Uncle Lloyd's knife. He whittled. He did really good work, as far as woodwork and stuff. And I've got it somewhere. I tore apart. I've come to the conclusion I'm a hoarder. So many boxes, I should keep everything like that, one box. But he made really cool, like wooden pocket knives and stuff. So as a kid, this is my attempt at it. Now Mom kept all these. And so this is my attempt at making a wooden pocket knife right there as a kid. Got a little split in it right there, but that's about it. And she wrote my name on it right there. You kind of see. And think about this stuff. It's kind of dumb for mom to keep it when I was younger. But when you get older, you appreciate it. Here's another one I'd whittle it sometime out of, obviously a stick right there. It's got my name on it. I can remember this one, whittling this one there. This is made out of old phone wire I wrapped around there. Not a bad job wrapping, I don't think. But as a kid, we're talking grade school here. That's pretty good, I always thought. Now, besides this stuff, like say, I won all kinds of other stuff. Like the gun cleaning kits from Gizzard Gary. Well, right up here in front of me, right here. Sean from Country Room Fire Plus. I won this tank. I always keep this here on my roll top desk. What else? Yeah, I won hearing protection off of Hasbro. Oh my. So much stuff. I'll get on to more of this stuff here right there. You see these little O-lights right here, like this. See, I'll turn it on right there. I've got two of these of Moondog. This one is on my wife's key ring. I have my the other one on my other key ring, so I use them there. This one's where I'm having a brain fart at. I want to say maybe Gunwild 1. I want auto, but it's another. You can pull it right there or completely take it off right there. If you want to stick it on something, it's magnetic. So all you do is shut it off, just put it right back in there. It goes in your key ring. But pretty cool. If it isn't a Gunwild 1, I'm thinking, tell me who wanted this off. Just remind me. It's my fault. I can't remember for sure. Like I say, I'm old and senile. So I'm trying to think of I've won a lot of stuff. Right here. I ain't gonna say win, but you guys in there, this is the pokey stick, Bill Dye. You guys, most guys that go to my channel know all the other channels, and Bill Dye. If you know Bill Dye, you have a gun channel, he sent you something or another. And Bill Dye sent me a lot, and he sent a lot of guys a lot of stuff, ammo and targets and you name it. What a great guy. I can't remember all the stuff he said, BB gun. He sent me stuff like that. I'm just kind of going through some of the stuff I have around me right here. My gun shop. Now I do this. Hang on, I can't remember. Okay, there it goes. My gun shop that I go to. Come on now. Which one of you are you? There you are. Chef straight shooters right there. He gave me this life card 22 LR pistol right there. I'm just gonna take the thing and make a video out of it. So that's I got out there right there. Now I know it's gonna be long here. I'm trying to think of all the stuff right there. As I was digging all the stuff, like I say, my mother. But before I get to that right there. So I started digging. I started getting the more sentimental stuff like that, like the knife and these old knives here and stuff. And I come across this is one of my dad's harmonicas, and I got after he passed. We didn't get no big old estate to inherit. So we got little doodads. Because that's one of his harmonicas, that he played quite often. He also would play a juice harp, and he taught me how to play a juice harp, and I thought I had one of his juice harps around here somewhere, but I didn't see it handy, and I got so I could play too, a song on them, right there. Now, like I say, my mother kept the trinkets and stuff like that, and now I never thought about of keeping stuff. So I just want to get out some of the stuff right here, kind of show. I know it's got a long video, but and show you stuff. Now this is all covered in dust. This is sales. I remember my sister getting me this when I was probably 13 years old. I thought it was kind of dumb, but it used to say like Sea Witch or something on here. It's all covered in dust, But Mom had kept a lot of this stuff right there. Let me get move some of the stuff here so I can show you some of the stuff I thought was pretty cool. Now, I went to Cub Scouts, Webelos, and you never hear Webelos anymore, but it used to be Cub Scouts, Webelos, and Boy Scouts. And you had these Pinewood Derby cars you had to whittle and stuff, and you'd have races. Well, of course, the wheels are missing off this one. And these were two of my cars, and Mom had kept them over the years. And, but, yeah, kind of not worth anything, but except for, to me, I guess. Some of this cool stuff right there. You know, and I got, what I do? Where you at? As I was digging through the different boxes, see, Mom would gather up, stuff from us kids, childhood, and before she passed, she'd given it all back to us. And I want you to see this shirt right here, and you can see it's cut and split down through there. And this shirt I was wearing, I was up in a tree making a tree cabin, and I fell out of the tree and broke my wrist, arm. They went to the hospital. They cut the shirt halfway off there, to reset my arm, and put a cast on it. And that's great school also right there. I wrestled most every year. I was in the school right there. I started off wrestling. Our school had started off in 4th grade wrestling, and she kept did Reynolds wrestling shirt right there. I'm not sure. It must have shrunk because I can't fit into it anymore. I don't know. This was in 4th grade, but Mom kept several of these, and I got the shorts and stuff like that. Got some of the stuff she'd kept for me. This right here you can see is a pillow, a tiger pillow. You see where Mom has repaired it down here on the split, and I think on the side here she's repaired it. Cold place right there. We on vacation, we left Colorado. We come back east here to visit, and we stopped at Exxon gas station. It used to be, remember, Exxon and Esso gas station were the same, owned by Standard Oil, and they used to advertise, put a tiger in your tank. But as a kid, this was, especially when I go sleep in the car, that was a good pillow right there. Surprised she kept that. I'm going to get some more of the stuff. This is a Webelos neckerchief. And this is either Cub Scout or Boy Scouts neckerchief. I can't remember. She kept some of the stuff. Now, she kept some of the knickknacks and stuff I had bought her over the years and give us kids back, not geese or something like that. But I see like this one here, the head's broken off, but the head's in there. So they're obviously smoking a pipe and they're sick. Right there. But she kept all that stuff and get it back. And I got a few other things in here. Here's one of the girl. I thought it'd be a good one to give Mom, maybe. I was like, as a kid, when I could, I would, buy Mom some kind of little knickknack when I was a little kid. As I got older, try to get her something, flowers and stuff. Now, we went to, if you guys ever been to Colorado and you're heading up to Pikes Peak, there's like a gift shop, small amusement park called the North Pole. And I remember stopping there as a kid. And she kept this all the time. I had this little Tom-Tom. I got there. And I still have another bag, too. I should have got it out. A little leather pouch. But I have a coin collection, and I have some really old coins in there. And I don't know, I'm doing this, like, scarf thing. Maybe I thought it looked cool because it was silky. But this says, if I can open it up here. Let me put some of these other things back in here. This says Pikes Peak. And it shows different things. Pikes Peak, I think it says Summit Top, Pikes Peak, and Colorado there, kind of like, see. I've got old picture albums and stuff like this. Now, like I say, there's 8 kids in the family. I'm the baby. You know, there's only me and the brother that's closest to me. I had a sister. It was me. The next oldest was one of my sisters, Linda. My brother Roger. He's the only one that's still alive. You know, he was out in Colorado. I just recently went out to Colorado to visit him. Now, I'm not going to show you all that. My brother Roger is an incredible artist in oil paintings. And he likes doing it for a while, then kind of gets out, but he's really good. And I wish I could show you some of his paintings. I should took some pictures so I could show you. But, and this mom had given me, my sister Linda, the one that's next to me, you know, gone now. I didn't realize how good of at drawing she was, and I wanted to show you a few pictures. Mom had given me since she was passed, and she didn't have a chance to get her there. She had drawn it. I mean, between her and my brother Roger, they got all the talent in the family. You know, I could draw cartoon characters and, you know, landscaping and stuff like that. And but I could never do people's faces or anything like that. And I could easily tell that was my sister Linda and that was my brother Fred. Easily tell. This was my dad right there. I can easily tell that was my dad. I didn't know until, you know, she's long gone. Mom gave me this out town. She really was. This was my sister. I know you guys can't see it because it's all in pencil right there. This is easy to tell for me. This was my niece, Amanda, my sister's daughter. And she has a date on there, 1991. She's got a bunch of landscape ones here, but I'm not going to try to do a landscape. I just want to show you some of the portrait drawings, since I think they're the hardest ones that there is to do. But bear with me for a second here. There's a lot of them here. I should have separated some of them. In a second here. Well, I realized I had many here. I'll pause you here for a second just so I can get these out. Okay, here's one right here. This is my sister Linda. I can easily tell right there. This is my mother, and this is my sister Grace. All three together. You guys can see that right there. This is me, and you can see everybody in my family called me Johnny. If your name is John, you're gonna be called Johnny. Okay, yeah. So that was me right there. You know, t-shirt. You had the glasses on right there. This is another one of. I guess that's supposed to be me because I wore t-shirt and flannel shirts all the time. Give mom a hug, I guess. And mom always had in her house. She had like this atrium room, you know, with, you know, flowers and plants in it and stuff like that. And this here was another old guy named Sam. We knew him. She did a picture drawing of him. But pretty cool, you know. How I never realized until she was gone. Until after that, you know. Yeah, I got a few more things I wanted to show here real quick that Mom had kept. Now I have one blanket that I grew up with, you know, that I kept all the time. Mom had kept this. You know, kind of beige. You can call it pink, call me sissy if you want, but it's beige. You know, since I was a kid and, you know, just teenager, I moved away from home right there. But Mom kept it. I thought that's kind of cool. And I got one more thing here without getting the pictures or anything like that. And this one kind of means a lot to me. It's kept in a bag because the cloth is rotten and it's falling apart. You know, there's no fixing it. It's just, you know, the cloth is just too rotten on the thing. And I want to kind of get it out here. Here, we're up. You gotta be ginger with this thing. Like I say, it's literally coming apart. And this is my old teddy bear. You guys can see that. Make sure I'm on the, yep, zoom down right here. My grandma made this for me. I remember her making this. And I was probably 4 years old, possibly 3, 4 years old, something like that. She made out flannel shirts and an old blanket and stuff like that. And it used to have the button eyes on there. You know, I probably ate the buttons off it or something. I don't know right there. But it's just so delicate right now. The cloth is so rotten by now. Hard telling how old the original flannel shirt is. But Mom had always kept that for me. Oh, that's pretty cool. You know, yes, I had hay bear. Leave me alone. Okay. Tight. It's out of the way right here. Some of this other stuff. For now. But I've got, you know, I'm not going to go through all that stuff. You know, she kept like, you know, old awards and, you know, school papers and pictures and stuff like that. It's a, you know, even some of the stuff like, you know, where, you know, we had like a spelling book and stuff like that, and I got them here somewhere too. I can't find all the stuff. You know, the knives I haven't got out here just because I made a mess. You know, is I know my Uncle Lloyd, he made a really cool wood knife, which I've got somewhere, and I wish I had it because it looks really, really good. Nothing like this. Okay. And I have a buck 112, which is like a 110, but I think it's slightly bigger, that I had gotten from my old company I used to work for. They gave you a Christmas bonus, but they also, the guy's wife, he made you up a Christmas basket. And, you know, with a regular big ham in it, you know, and you got, you know, all kinds of fruit and candies and stuff in there. And they'd also throw in a Christmas present, and I got the buck 112. Yeah, right there. Now, I gave that to my son-in-law because he kind of wanted it right there, so I'll have her with me right here, but it's still around right there. But I can remember getting that one year and a reversible vest the other year. And what else I hadn't finished digging around because I'm getting tired of doing it. You know, I've got a couple, you know, fixed blade hunting knives around here I didn't dig out, but yeah, everybody's got them. But so that's my knife collection along with a little story. Yeah, you know, looks like I won't be able to keep it underneath 40 minutes. No, you don't have to watch the whole thing unless you want to. If you do, you know, let me know. Do you have any of the collectibles, something that's made, you know, something that means something to you? You know, I want to forget, you know, all the guys, like I say, I can't thank, you know, all the other gun tubers, stuff like that. I won stuff off, and I know I'm leaving out people, you know, off the top of my head right there. I won so much stuff, you know, and I'm grateful for it, you know. And it kind of got me into the collecting the knives, too. It really did. You know, besides the sentimental ones, stuff like that, it's kind of cool. And, as I say, Bill Dye said a bunch of stuff, stuff, you know, ammo and stuff like that. It's always fun, you know. I enjoy it. Gives me something to do on a winter day. Look, I wouldn't be able to make this video. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk to you next time.